Hi, students. How are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So I keep seeing all your videos coming out, and you all are kind of claiming to not be anti-black, or I do not mean to be anti-black and all that. But you and I know that you all are anti-black. There is no need trying to cover up. I mean, you can, if you are anti-black, you can come out correct and stop looking for a way to hide it, right? You actually made mention that if some people decided that you are in kind of sad that some people were supporting, and all of a sudden they decided to move away from supporting Kamala Harris and all that, and then you went further to say that it's okay if some people feel like their life isn't kind of threatening on that so person, and they choose to do something else, or choose to act talk to someone else and all that, or decide to support someone else, that you are not going to judge them when you are already done judging them, right? Now, I am going to say this, and this is just what I feel like telling you all. You all have been on this app running so much, and I do not see you people doing a lot for yourselves. Black people have been like the pioneer and the force behind even the protest and everything that has happened, just towards you people, to make sure that you all are okay, right? Which was not even enough, yeah, because you only needed their lot to drop, which they have already said that we are not dropping anything. Now, I am going to say this: mobilize yourselves and move down to your hometown and start doing something, because you can actually do it.
A couple weeks ago, I made a video where I was mainly calling out the hypocrisy of liberals and progressives who showed their support for BLM in 2020 and wanted to defund the police and prison reform and change the justice system in 2020, but in 2024 are getting behind Kamala Harris. And I was calling out the hypocrisy of it all. And that video started off as, if not Kamala, then Trump, and you're a Trump supporter. And then it was, you're lying about Kamala Harris, and then it was you're being anti-black. And that video was never intended to be at Black Americans, because I didn't think that Black Americans were even in support of Kamala Harris at the time. I was mainly speaking to mostly white liberals and progressives who were very excited about Kamala Harris being the Democratic nominee for presidency. And I could have clarified what I meant shortly after, but honestly, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted by America. And I took that video down because I realized that it wasn't contributing to furthering the conversation. In fact, it was being used to contribute to the violence that is being used against people of color right now. And, I was emotional when I made that video. I have been very emotional. I'm emotional right now. I have been consistently emotional on this app. I've been very vulnerable on this app. And these videos that I make, it's not videos that I ever wanted to make. I make these videos because it was out of necessity. The US media wasn't talking about the genocide in Gaza. So, yes, I feel not only emotional, but I feel rage and anger and frustration. And sometimes you're not thinking about saying all the perfect things. You're not thinking about protecting people's feelings all the time. I've seen so much death in the last few months. I've seen babies whose heads were decapitated. And not just one, not just two, not just three, plenty. I've seen thousands of videos by now of children whose bodies in Gaza are completely ripped apart. I've seen a burnt pregnant woman whose body was burnt to char, and doctors trying to retrieve the baby that was in her belly. I've listened to Palestinian men recall being tortured in Israeli prisons and how they were raped by dogs. I am mentally fucked up. I will never be the same. I will never be the same. And I feel rage and frustration along with so much pain. And I sometimes ask myself, is that rage acceptable? Is it tolerable? And it feels like it's not. It's not, especially right now. It's not acceptable. A couple years ago, I started a documentary where the premise was to capture the voices of communities who are often marginalized and have no seat on the global stage, and to give them a spotlight. and to bring their stories to people in the Western world in hopes that people would find human connection, that people would see that they are just like us and that their lives are equal to us. And essentially that we would care. We would care about what happens to people in the global South. And what I found, right off the bat was that a lot of people did not care. But then when October 7th happened and people saw the genocide that was happening, people did care. But I also have been humbled to realize that people care to an extent. People care to the extent that it doesn't affect them. And they can't afford to bring that over here. They have to take care of themselves and their families and their loved ones. And so they're not willing to go and do the most for the people in the global South who are suffering. And I guess that's understandable, right? Like, we all want to protect our loved ones. But I can't help to wonder, is that the mentality that so many bystanders had when our ancestors were being colonized and enslaved and genocide and massacred and going through apartheid? Isn't that the mentality that so many bystanders had as our ancestors were being tortured and enslaved and all of that, right? Like, then how can we be mad about what happened to our ancestors if right now in this very moment we're perpetuating that same rhetoric onto so many innocent people in the global South? And so I ask myself often, I find myself asking myself every day, can the world be saved? And the only chance that the world has at being saved at this point is if it happens together, if we're all locked in together. But, in the last few weeks, I realized just how fragile our relationships are to each other and how easy it is to manipulate these relationships and to, completely stomp out any unity that happens. And it's such a loss of innocence for me, because I genuinely believe that, like, if people cared and if people knew what was happening, we would actually be able to make change. These politicians and corporations are not just killing people, they're killing the environment, they're killing nature. So many people in the global South have to migrate to the Western world because of our consumerism, because of our garbage, because of how much pollution we put out into the world. We are destroying their habitat. We are destroying their environment. And we take no accountability. And we allow our government to continue the carnage that they are committing across the world. And I don't feel like the global South has enough time. I think in the next few years, we're going to see more and more people coming through our borders. And it's because of us. It is us participating in the system and allowing our government to continue doing what they're doing. Our government and governments around the world are not putting an end to climate change. They've come out with more ways to continue climate change with AI and everything right now. And I ask myself, like, can the world be saved? And like, it's been a humbling experience to know that I don't think so, because it has to happen together. And for it to happen together, so much that is above my pay grade. Like, we are so divided, and I don't even know where to begin to like make these connections. And I thought that I was doing my part by bringing their stories to people in the West, but like, it's not enough. And I feel like I'm not doing enough. And I just feel like I have to mentally prepare myself to seeing more death and being numb to it.
So this is all I got from this video, and the best is that you all can also do better. I mean, like, you all are, I don't know why most of you are mad and going wild because Black people chose a side for themselves, right? And I do not see you people also doing enough for yourselves, but you all are more concerned about what other people are not doing for you, which is absolutely not making sense, right? So if you are mad at some people, or I don't know, but why would you even be mad at anybody for probably choosing a part or wanting something for themselves? There is no need to be mad. There is no need uh, to to start going wild or start causing nuisance on, like, online. You all can come together and look for a way to better yourselves, look for a way to save yourselves, because you all already said that the ones that people tried helping you to do was not enough, and you all are kind of ungrateful, because I do not ever want to work with ungrateful people, right? Um, some kind of are saying that liberals and progressive are, like, they okay, like they are their hypocrisy, and they were the ones that showed support when it comes to Black Lives Matters and all that. Why must some certain things get into some of your discussions? Because I don't see why you all look for a way to drag some certain things into your discussions. If you all want to talk about Black people, go straight. If you all want to talk about yourselves, go straight and talk about yourself. The truth is that you all have really shown us so many reasons, like, not to even be part of anything you are doing. And the truth is that whatever Black people are doing are also in your favor, but you all have chosen not to understand that and all that. And go tell your people that there is no need being mad or being like, angry over what anybody chose on who to support and who not to support, because you all made it look like Black people are mad, Black people are crazy, if they are not supportive, they do not care about us, when we show, I mean, like, we Black people really put up so much effort, so much strength, so much everything into making sure that you all are. Even while doing that, they ignored their own people, that is Congo, Sudan, and Haiti, and all that, right? Just to make sure you all are doing. And you think if we were to be like, I do not see a lot of coming out to talk about what is going on in Congo. It's still Black people that are out there talking about it, just to tell you the hypocrisy. Each time they talk about hypocrisy and how they are mad at liberals and progressive and Democrat and Republicans, and they are mad with everybody. So who exactly are you mad at? Because you can't be mad at everybody, and you all are the only saint. That is, there is already a loophole. You all should call yourselves together the way you all started all this writing and all that. I want you all to know that nobody owes you anything. If nobody decided that if the people decide that they are not going to support you, nobody owe you anything. It is all your whatever. Just go and settle your, I don't know, but it's just settle. You all should come together and look for a way to, fight for yourselves. And I do not see a lot of you calling the Arabs. I do not see you. Or see you people even screaming on the people that are doing something to you. The Israeli government. I do not see you scream their name. But all of a sudden we became the evil forest, or the people behind everything happening to you. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.